What's up? This is Renegade going live, my Area 51. As I'm doing this, I have all these epiphanies I was seeing, like Home Depot, and just looking at the apron, I'm always decoding symbols. Here we obviously see the three pyramids with the three cones. I was looking at the symbol for Oprah. The Oprah is on the orange symbol, and dealing with the arrangements, and I was looking at her original name was Ofra, and I think about things like opera and maybe how she's a voice for the orphans, and I'm really just getting into the syncretism of how symbiotics and the whole magnetism of consciousness. And I didn't really take a shower. I'm getting going, but it's like tail end of the moon. I'm thinking, even when it's humid, right now it's the tail end of Cancer Leo, which is steam. I don't have my mic. I'm like, let's jump on it. I was thinking about skin, how that comes from within you and then outside of you, like a snake. And also dealing with sync with the skin and ink resembling blood. And just what I get into is the whole concept of meaning, and that's a cell. Like in your cell, I think about movies like Escape from New York, and just look at all the sci-fi symbols. So while I'm here too, I also want to chime in some of the stuff. I'm dropping comments on live streams. I'm starting to just keep stuff to myself. One, because, if you're getting any concepts from me, like the cards, flipping images and stuff on my concepts, I believe that other people will take on certain patterns of thought. But I see people with big channels shouting my stuff before I even really put down my stuff because I'm working all the time. Give me a shout, bro, because I know I'm coming with it. So I'm going to get onto that with the House of Cards and card tunes, dealing with cards, and also getting into meaning. So we know I work with Cy, the car guy, and I literally have Milwaukee boxes full of streaming and channeling in my head, and I only want to put down important points that I want to put down. One thing that hit me this morning that made me want to just go live, I don't really have too much memory on my phone from all the pictures I'm taking of cars. So I'm waiting on people to pick these up. I'm trying to hustle out these wheels. I'm like, let me jump on a live stream because I'm never going to get this done. And I'm tacking on to that tail end of, it's actually my sun sign full moon, which is Cancer Leo. It almost feels like I'm in a prism when I'm looking at a picture of myself on the screen. So it's staying on track. I look at this as summon. I'm going to summon someone onto here. And when we see Nomos, and we think about namaste, also dealing with meaning, this is one that hit me too, because we're dealing with sounds and symbols. Also, I'm getting into the apron. We know sometimes my screen is flipped here, but either way, it don't matter what the symbols I'm doing. I don't want to lose this train of thoughts, because when I'm looking at Kemet and pausing time, we basically look at that K sign, and then we could do IMET, which is interesting because the sound of that is I am. E.T., like Elliot. and then also dealing with pausing time. And we know that pause with left and right is also dealing with swap. And where we see maps, we know that we need the key to the maps, dealing with symbols. And so we deal with symbols, sounds. We're dealing with drums. So sounds, also getting the sounds of silence. But we get into, and also into the 42 lines of the Bible, which is also the D and the B. But let me show you what I'm talking about. When you look at drum, this is what hit me. Like, I knew it before it even hit. But there's one that already skipped my mind that ties into this. I hope it comes back. That's what explanation does sometimes. But when you look at drum, it equals 4, 18, 21, and 13, 56. When we look at drum, we know we got 2 sticks. We got 2 sticks on a drum. This also gets me into lead and everything like that. There was a meditation I was listening to on the sound of one hand. You know, the sound of 2 hands. What is the sound of one hand? But also when we get into lead, it's like we also can see like one of the drumsticks on the drum and one off the drum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a snare drum. And then we know a snare is also a trap. So it makes me think of the Trappist monks and things like that. But tying into light and shadow, this is what I'm talking about here. Because now I just jumped on here, no tags, nothing, no heads up. Yo, Renegade's going live. Shout out to my 100 followers. I think I'm at like 112, 113, something like that. Let me talk to myself out what I'm saying, because this shit's so sick. Light and let there be light. So let there be light. So I'm also going to get into blight. So we're dealing with light and shadow, because like blight on a tomato. And then when we look at a rocket, if we look at the D and the B, it's almost like a phallus with balls, or you could also look at like ovaries. But to keep track of here, we could see kind of like a shuttle, and the smoke coming out with like a lift off with the doubling. So that's also like the uniting, like the propulsion of forces. So getting into the deep end, and then also we kind of can see the elbow. We can kind of see the 7 too. In the Bible, dealing with belief system. Programming, and we know that it's based on a light programming. So there's not just like, we don't want to have target fixation here. What I'm doing is I'm navigating this maze, almost like in The Shining. But the maze for me is like channeling, because when things hit me before they happen, it's like a Rubik's Cube, figuring out this Rubik's Cube matrix. I got so many sick notes that I really want to do a stop and go when I get into some of my dimensional things that have hit me, and things in dreams, and notes on premonitions. And then we also can see below, and then we also have pillow, which we sleep on a pillow. I've gotten into some things on the symbols, like the 99 bar and grill, but this stuff is kind of tying into what I'm saying with the card tunes. And when we're dealing with movement with like the letter B, and we're dealing with the symbol of notes. It's so the symbols that I have breaking down and tied in, it's like, whoa, it's not like, I don't really see it as my work. I see it as the work that, I see it as gift. I just see it as allowing my gifts, things channeling and popping out of me. And I always try to, like I say, summoning. I want to play tennis in a way that I'm sharpening skills with anybody that's tuning into my channel. And you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to break down the bullshit, clear the clutter rather, because when you see how things connect, it's rather complex, but it's rather the shit that speaks is like lightning. It's exact. So it makes me kind of want to cut out leaks and use energy and optimize. So my epiphanies hit me like clouds, where I wake up and they come to me. But sometimes, let me use an example. I was at a Christmas party for my boy who does tree removal, and I kept calling the guy next to me Frank. And then the next guy who comes in is my boy's father-in-law, and I didn't know who's coming there. And apparently his name was Frank. I said, yo, I keep wanting to call you Frank. Then this guy comes in. His name's Frank. But one example, boom, boom. Clear the sand. Well, that went away. Another example, I'm looking for my keys, and there's a sign, boom, boom, where things get like out of focus and some things focus. And it was like left door or something. But I'm like, let me look at my car, and open the door, and right by the side, there's my debit card. So what is it picking up? Is it a higher consciousness that's picking up? But either way, I'm going to get back into that one, but that has to do with my notes on premonitions. I got a lot of stuff that's screenshot, and I haven't really been on my symbols yet on my I got an Insta channel. That's what it is, because I got like a pen that I can underline stuff and show the connections and make it easier for people to see what I'm talking about. But what was the other one? Also dealing with time travel. I also want to get into that, how that's also the two crosses. And that's also dealing with paradigm. Because the T's are also an X when you're pairing a dime. So I have notes dealing with gear shifting, because I saw talks from Bro Sanchez on V-Manas, and I was looking up, I've always looked up Schauberger. You can see him in my playlist. I was looking at some of the stuff in Vienna, and I was thinking about how Vienna is the center of Europe. They call it the heart city. It's the connection of Eastern and Western Europe. Well, I don't got anybody tuning in yet, but the connections I wanted to drop mainly were on the Let There Be Light, which is getting me into the beat, Let There Be Light. And then when you look at the stars, how the stars are flickering, they're beating light. So I gotta hop back on these cars. I might keep rocking here for a couple more minutes. If you catch this, big ups. When it's like this time where it's the moon sign is in my sun sign at full moon, I'm definitely feeling stimulated, like my third eye is open. Obviously I don't have my microphone on. Obviously I'm working on some presentations, and I'm taking on a lot of stuff I'm getting in order. But as soon as I get these cars out of the way, it's like freaking Jenga, man. As soon as I'm doing the stuff I like, it's like the Tetris pieces, they're stacking up, and I gotta keep pivot stepping. But also I value the information that I'm putting down here, so I'm not just spitting to hear myself talk. Like I said, these are coordinate points of my signature, so these are my epiphanies that hit me. I remember seeing, well, I might reflect on some of these I put down, because some of these scattered notes tie into stuff that really hit me, where it pops out in dimensions. And when I see drum, also get into the diamond in the shape of the earth, from my perspective, relating to those orange cones, and also getting into things like clockwork orange, and in particular to the colors orange and yellow and what they represent. And orange is like an edge. Orange is edge, and yellow is more like obtuse. So we're doing like acute and obtuse. This shit gets so deep. But they say orange is also dealing with the arrangement, also dealing with that willpower. And I'm going to get into that too, how that WP is also the WB. And I'm getting into a lot of stuff with the WB Mason, and also relating to Whirlpool. I want to get a lot of the symbols. Like General Electric is one of them, and it's going to make a lot more sense when I show you what I'm clicking here. And then also dealing with the wedge and the shadow, also known as the umbra, and how that ties into Abra and Abracadabra and what we see. And we look at certain words like shinobi. See if you can see my notes here. Might as well use this while I got it. How we can derive shadow from the symbols, dealing with light as the protractor. The screen might be flipped, so I definitely want to save some of these to put down for my stop and go, because it's going to have bam, boom, boom, boom. People be like, holy shit. But yeah, dude, if anybody rips on this information in the context I'm using, you know it's straight from Third Eye Mind and Renegade, man. Give me a shout, man. It's my signature, man. And graffiti, man, when people would like write over your shit or whatever, they call that biters, man. But if out of respect, dude, it's the difference between building and biting. So I'm going to get into the spider on the web too. And no joke, I lost my train of thought because the Shinobi stuff opens up a lot of stuff. It always makes me think of popping smoke. Okay, but check it. We're told, this is also getting into dimensions, that there are 4 south poles. Look it up, right? This also gets into the cross. And we're told that there's 1 north pole. We're basically, if we're looking from the top down like an eagle eye, now we see a pyramid. Now that pops out as a 3rd dimension. Look out for my next stream. I'm past the 20-minute mark. I gotta finish the play on my work. I see you cats out there that are doing your thing in the truth community, man. I'm listening, tuning in. I hear people dropping some stuff from me too. Probably not giving me a shout because I don't have that many followers, but just remember who you're getting this shit from, and I will return the value in what I'm putting down, and I'll never forget the people that have looked out for me. Peace. And I hope someone catches this, man. If not, I might even just erase it and recycle this information in my next presentation. Well, let it rock. If you're one of the people that catches this, you're one of the people that sees me in my early development of my channel. So I don't really put that much on this channel because I got other stuff going on, but I do value the information here and anybody who's checking it. Peace.